So guys, wanted to take a second and explain the fit and the faith and fit, a little bit about what that's about. Just kind of explain a little bit about my story. By the way, guys, my name is Daniel Ray. Welcome to the Faith and Fit channel. About to get into a little bit about my story in regards to the fit portion. So all the way back from the beginning, I've always been conscious of how I looked, what I ate. Now, I haven't always been aware that what I'm eating is good or bad for me as far as the strategy goes, just lacking the overall knowledge. But I remember ever since being a little kid, like 8, 9 years old, watching Jean-Claude Van Damme videos, just wanting to look exactly like that dude. I never wanted to be super big, mass monster. I wanted to be kind of like that pretty boy, that beach body physique with the six pack and just very conditioned, vascular, but not too vascular, but muscle and not over the top, but looks good, six pack, good looking guy. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was my hero. But the problem was I never knew exactly how to attain that physique. But ever since seeing him, that was the goal. That was always what I was striving to do, was to try to do whatever I can to acquire that. And unfortunately for me, I'm from the South, and good home cooking. I'm talking biscuits and gravy, sausage, biscuits and gravy, apple pie. I remember distinctively when I went from 2 biscuits to 3 biscuits in the morning. That was a huge milestone as far as my parents were concerned, and not to knock them. They were amazing parents. Cooked great meals. My mom, she was able to cook mostly every evening that she wasn't working. And obviously, she's not really worried if it's gluten-free, organic, all natural, low calories, especially low calories. But she's actually become a lot more health conscious here in the last couple of years, which is really cool. But I've always been aware and conscious of wanting to eat healthy. I just didn't know how. I remember, my mom taking me and my sister to school and us stopping by McDonald's and getting a chicken biscuit, and I thought because it was chicken that it was okay. I thought it was, maybe not necessarily healthy, but I thought it was okay to eat. And word of caution, anything with the word Mick in it is probably not good for you. I just didn't know. But yeah, I started to go through puberty, and actually developed a little bit of gynecomastia. And if you don't know, gynecomastia in males is where you start to develop the overproduction of breast tissue, and it doesn't look good. It's not aesthetically pleasing. And so going through puberty, I started to develop that. It wasn't through exogenous hormone use or anything like that. There's nothing I could do, unfortunately, and that really bothered me. I was very self-conscious of that, and I was teased because of it. And then on top of that, I'm not very active. I'm glued to the TV, somewhat of a movie buff, would play video games for hours. And so, all the while I'm eating this good Southern food, and I start to gain a little bit of weight. I never was obese or anything, but I was definitely chubby, although I didn't know it. I remember distinctively being in the school cafeteria, sitting down, and then 2 seats down from me, this guy asked me if I want his burger, and I said, nah, man, I'm good. And then his friend next to him was like, oh, come on, Daniel, you want that burger. And then that's when it clicked for some reason. I was like, oh man, he's making fun of me because I'm chubby. And then looking back, seeing pictures, I was like, oh man, Mom, why didn't you tell me? But that really bothered me. And then there would be other occasions where I would get teased and, picked on. People would come by and flick like my chest right there, when it was poking out, and that would really bother me. And because of that, I developed an eating disorder just to try to lose weight. I would starve myself, and it started to work. I would get not necessarily compliments, but people saying, oh, you're getting skinnier, and all the while that's kind of reinforcing my behavior, because hey, at least I'm not chubby now. And that went on for some time. And then I actually wrestled in high school as well. And if you know anything about wrestlers, we're obsessed with the scale, where we're at weight-wise, because usually you want to get down into the lowest weight class possible, but also be as strong as you can. I wouldn't say I was necessarily strong, but I was definitely in the lowest weight class possible, and I did that through starving myself. And I just didn't know any other way to go about doing that. And I was get closer to my goal than I was when I was chubby, but definitely nowhere near where I wanted to be. And ultimately I started to get teased because I was skinny and, started to get super small, super frail. I didn't take any blood work or anything like that, but I'm sure I blunted my hormones. My testosterone was probably, down the drain. And looking back, I didn't really have a lot of energy. My brain, it didn't seem like my brain was really operating at full capacity. And, that went on for quite some time. And then finally I start to, wanting to get bigger, but I'm trying to get bigger, like in a good way. I'm trying to put on lean mass. Just didn't necessarily know how to. So I start eating and eating. I'm working out and I am gaining weight, but it's kind of not good weight. Some of it's good. It's a little bit of lean mass, but, I start to get that sort of that chubby cheeks kind of. And I just didn't, all the while I just didn't know what to do. I mean, you can go as hard as you want, but if you don't have the right strategy, you're not going to achieve the right result. What's that? Tony Robbins has a saying about, I forget, if let's say the sun sets in the west. Okay, so you embark on this mission to go and check out the sunset. It doesn't matter how hard you're going, if you're going east, you're not going to see that sunset in the west. So having the right strategy is very, very important. And all throughout my teen years, my young adult, the early 20s, I didn't have that right strategy. And it wasn't until I I became a certified personal trainer and acquired that education and, developed my craft that I was able to take all of that knowledge and, ultimately started out for myself, but then I started to, learn and, had the realization, hey, there's probably a lot of other people that are going through, something similar. And so I was able to take that knowledge and ultimately transfer it to them and, ultimately help them avoid some of the same pitfalls and mistakes that I went through. But it's, throughout my whole childhood to early teen years, it was, I was chubby. Try to do something about that. Then I'm super skinny, start to get picked on and teased because of that. And then I start to, gain weight, and it's still not the right weight. So little did I know I was advancing towards my goal, but it could have happened so much quicker had I had the right knowledge and the right skills and the right mentor in my life to show me. And honestly, it really wasn't until I met this woman named Robin. She was a certified personal trainer, but that's when my life really took a turn for the better. She was a certified personal trainer and she helped me get my certification and then a couple of other certifications, and I was able to really develop that knowledge. And she ended up getting me a job at this big gym. It's called One Life Fitness here in Noonan. And then that's where the personal training career came into play and started. I actually ended up going on to own and operate 2 small group personal training studios, one in Tampa, Florida, and one here in Noonan, Georgia. Good gym owner, just not the best business owner. That's a whole entire story. I'm sure you guys would love to hear about it. Not today. We'll save that for another time. But anyways, I've always had a passion for fitness. I've always had a passion for looking good. It started out just wanting to look good, aesthetics. Now that I'm 32, it's turning into a little bit more wanting to be healthy, wanting to take care of myself, longevity. And I really want to incorporate, fitness related topics into this channel, as well as the apologetics. I've talked about the Christian side of things. I lived with an atheist for a year, and up until that point, I never really encountered anyone with a different belief system as far as religion goes. And that was the first time I really encountered someone with a different, a different way of thinking when it comes to God or the lack of God. And then that's what that's what started the journey as far as apologetics go, and really learning about that and how to defend my faith. And you know, guys, that's a little bit about my story. There's a lot more I can share and a lot more I will share. You know, moving forward, again, I want to start incorporating a lot more fitness related topics into the, you know, the Christian apologetics. But anyways, again, my name is Daniel Ray. Welcome to Faith and Fit. If you enjoyed the video, enjoyed a little bit about my story, please like, comment, subscribe, help get that algorithm out to more people. But I'll see you guys next week.